All right, it's morning time. What is it? Thursday. So we are going to start heading, and we're going to go to Nevada, Missouri, and then down to Joplin, and then on to Tulsa. So the Casey's there. Musica. So here's our route. So it just takes us through close to Kansas, but in more Independence. Or actually, it does take us to Kansas here. All right. And so starting out in 272 miles now, 2.7 average. So off we go. Day 2. And off we go. Super 8 there, if it's that one, but back in college I used to stop at the Super 8 in Bethany, coming down.
Continue on I-35 south for 79
back
miles.
home from Phoenix. So, alright, set Super Cruise, crank it up to 70. Already working. Flawlessly, immediately. Off we go. As you get on these interstates, more like south of Minnesota, this is probably very common. I'm sure people in central and southern United States, but just all the trucks on the roads and stuff like that. It's the main arteries, really, of the United States for shipping. The rails used to be, I mean, they still are, but trucking is a big mover of the economy in the States and stuff. So. Google can struggle sometimes. It's an interesting thing nice thing to have actually on road trips, because you can ask questions and find out things about the areas that you're traveling through, which you can't do with Tesla. So, but just kind of learning about the area. Hey Google, where did the limestone in Missouri come from?
On the website sites.wassel.edu, they say, sedimentary rocks are very common in Missouri, as many cycles of ocean rise and fall deposited sediment across the basement rocks, most often leading to limestone formation.
So, it's kind of fun just to play with Google on long, boring trips across the plains of the states. But, hey Google, are there any interstellar objects that we know of?
On the website nationalgeographic.com, they say, only 3 interstellar objects have ever been discovered, with the latest appearing just this month, from the direction of somewhere in the center of the Milky Way. 3I, Atlas, as the object is known, is currently traveling just inside the orbit of Mars, captivating telescopes around the world.
Fascinating. Hey Google, it's a bit hot outside. Can you turn down the heat?
Got it. Turning down the temperature.
No, outside, not inside. About 8,000 miles traveling through whatever town this is in Missouri. Hey Google, what town are we passing through right now?
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Yeah, you and me both. Just to clarify, we are in Kansas City, Missouri, so Google can struggle at times, which is disappointing. It should at least know where it's at. of Super Cruise effortlessly handling traffic in Kansas City, Missouri and stuff. Goes in and out of traffic just fine. In one of the videos in Out of Spec, they were again dissing GM as it's going through the super windy, curvy road in the Rocky Mountains as a test of its abilities, which I guess is fair when you're comparing us with other ones. But that's not, I don't know, I don't think that's what everyday Americans are handling, unless you live like in the Rocky Mountains, I suppose, or in that area. But I mean, in these metropolitan areas, I mean, Super Cruise is a beast. So it just takes the traffic up there, and it's not light traffic. It just handles it just fine. So, speaking more on Super Cruise has its limitations. So like right now, it's staying slow behind a vehicle, and this does happen from time to time, and you do have to kind of help the system out by encouraging it, I want to turn. It should be doing that automatically, but sometimes it doesn't. So it's not the end of the world. Just hit the turn signal and it'll do what you want. Don't wait, but for most of the time it works just fine. And that's one of the things I think Out of Spec was really ripping on as well, again. But yet when they're doing Tesla, and Tesla's sitting there, it's literally crossing the center line into oncoming traffic, and they're just laughing about it. Like, oh, ho, 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 ho. Well, that's, I think, is a little more serious than just staying behind a slower car. This has yet to cross the line and just go right into oncoming traffic, as Out of Spec itself has shown on numerous occasions Tesla FSD doing. So, I don't know. Anyways, but I don't know. Super Cruise is a very fine system. Alright, we're getting close to Nevada, or as Google says, Nevada. Interesting pronunciation. Let's see here, it is just a little bit away on that. So, it was 181 miles, I believe. I'm going to turn off Super Cruise so it doesn't try and pass this guy. It was like 181 miles. And I really have to give it to Tom Malogny out of his channel, and even the Out of Spec guys who can do these long distance trips, and they don't really show themselves having to stop to use the restroom.
Take exit 102B toward I-49 Business Loop, Nevada.
Which I'm sure they do have to use the restroom, but I mean, we're doing 181 miles, and I know I have to use the restroom, and that's not even near the capacity the car can drive. I mean, a Chevy Bolt can do 180 miles easily.
Exit 102B, then continue onto I-49
So
Business Loop.
when people have range anxiety, and taking trips like this, it's just, I mean, you just, you don't need to have range anxiety. These things can do it just fine and stuff. Ooh. There we go. There's a Chevy truck there. So, slow down because we're getting into town here.
Continue on I-49 Business Loop for 1 mile.
Alright, so anyways, yeah, range anxiety. It's just, you really don't need to have range anxiety and stuff. Like I said, I'm 181 miles here, and I'm not going to go any further, until I stop for myself. The car could keep going if I wanted to, but it kind of needs to hang with me, so. Alright, we'll turn this back on when we get to the charging station. Alright, so that trip was 180.9 miles. Like I said, 181 miles. Average efficiency 2.4. It took 2 hours, 34 minutes. So far we've gone 653.3 miles and trip averaging 2.6 miles per kilowatt hour. We are doing 75 miles an hour and stuff. So, go back into here, and now we're going to do the... Alright, so it's climbing. So it's got up to 178 kilowatts speed, 179 kilowatts of speed, 180 kilowatts of speed, which is consistent with the rest of them, 181 kilowatts of speed. And we do have the climate on, so 73 degrees, 182 kilowatts of speed and stuff. So, and I'll turn the climate off. Climate's off. So 1 kilowatt speed faster with the climate off. So it doesn't really seem to affect at least the cars that we drive, and we've had several of these vehicles. I mean, we've had 3 Blazer EVs, 2 Equinox EVs, all on this platform and stuff, and none of them have seemed to have an issue with charging with the AC on. So anyways, we're gonna leave that up because we might go over and try China One. Sounds like a good place to eat while this fills up. So, see you in a bit. I do want to say Tesla and Casey's, good job. You've got windshield washer stuff, garbage. So, that's great. Alright, on to food.
I want to make sure you want chow mein and lo mein.
Chow mein.
Chow mein is Chinese vegetables made with the white sauce.
Yes.
Yeah, just make sure. A lot of customers they do lo mein, chow mein.
Right, I think it's the same. Great. So, anyways, a little kitchen, very nice. She's like, no. So, it's a nice little place, so we'll have something to eat here. Alright, so, it's a lunch special here. See, chicken chow mein, not chicken lo mein. And then I got extra fried rice. I didn't know that it came with fried rice, so now I've got double portions. And Szechuan chicken over there, so looks good though. Well, that was nice. Got to eat. Wasn't expecting to eat Chinese, but it's good. So we're going to go to Casey's over there. We got to pull out a little bit of money for the toll. I guess there's a toll road. Last year we didn't take the toll road and we took the back roads. And there's like cops just covering the area, following you like, I don't know, mosquitoes. So to avoid that, we'll just pay, what, $7, $5, something, and just take the tolls. So looks like there's a Chevy Bolt over there now, Tesla, and the Blazer. All right, so the car charged up to 90%. Last night it charged up to 98% and it stopped. And then this time it charged up to 90% and stopped. And it says there is an issue with either the charger or the battery. But there's no symbol, so I'm not quite sure what that was about. But we'll keep watch on that. So anyways. So we're going to, looks like possibly going down to Joplin and then on to Tulsa. So status again, 653 miles so far, 2.6 miles per kilowatt hour. On the way in, we did drive by a thrift store here. So we're gonna just stop in and check it out, see if they got any goodies. So. All right, that was a whole lot of nothing, but we'll see. Just never know what you're gonna find in a place like that, I suppose. But we're sandwiched between 2 Mustangs. That ain't right. Alright, driving through Podunk, Nevada. Finding our way back to interstate. time I saw a train stop for a road. Alright, we'll see how long. This looks like it could be a while. And the train moved back the other way. Back we go. Now we're getting redirected some sort of a business loop. It's fine. See rock structures as we go by here, Missouri. These are a little different than, they kind of look like limestone, but I don't know if they are limestone or not, like a black limestone almost. So, thing with over there. Hey Google, why is some of the limestone in Missouri dark?
On the website facebook.com, they say, most very dark limestone are very dark because the calcite crystals are very, very small, or the calcium carbonate was produced below the region where sunlight penetrates ocean water, or the limestone also contains some amount of carbonaceous mud.
Well, that was interesting explanation, I guess, to kind of learn about stuff again en route on limestone. So that dark stuff was formed below areas, I guess, that sunlight couldn't penetrate. So I don't know if that's just deep or it's just limestone underneath other mud and it formed that way. So interesting. Super Cruise, just doing its thing on curves, relatively decent speed, still doing 75 miles an hour on the trip and stuff, using a lot more energy as we get south and stuff. I'll have to look at why the battery said it was done at 90%. When we pulled in, we had 29% battery. And Tesla stated that we had used 71 kilowatt hours of energy, which would be close to full. I know there's going to be losses and stuff like that, so something just might not be calibrated right. I don't know if you have to actually drain these cars down to zero and then fill them back up again to calibrate them from time to time, but it's only got 8,100 miles on it as of right now. And stuff, so we'll see. I'm not too worried about it. So interesting, a curious side note, we had passed by a GM Cadillac dealership back there, and we looked, and there are no EVs in the back lot as you drive by. However, like up where we're at, up by Brainerd, Baxter, they have two Mustang Mach-E's. They've got Ford F-150 Lightnings all parked in the back, out of the way where you can't see them, behind Mills Ford. And Tom Milogny, in one of his videos, he was also noticing that the Ford dealerships take their electric vehicles and they put them someplace where the customers aren't going to see them to want to buy them. So Ford's approach, I don't know, it doesn't seem to be very successful. So, well, I mean, they do sell, quite a few, I guess, of the two cars that they make, and stuff, because the F-150, I mean, it's a good name, good brand.
In 2 miles, take exit 4 from Missouri 43 south towards Seneca.
And Mustangs are nice, I mean, there's no getting around that and stuff, but it's all they've got. So, and they put them in the back where nobody can see them and nobody can buy them. But Chevy doesn't do that. They make sure they're up front and center. They've got a wide variety, selection of EVs you can choose from. They work. You can charge them. Super Cruise works fine. So I think they're some of the best EVs on the market, to be honest with you, at least for American-made EVs. I mean, Tesla, granted, they you know, they've been in the market really 10 years longer and have been able to work out a lot more bugs and stuff like that, but they don't really have a lot of variety. You know, everything all looks exactly the same and stuff. So, but anyways, kudos to GM for at least having a good portfolio of EVs to choose from, and they work. So the guys on Out of Spec, I keep ragging on them because they keep ragging on GM. When they're doing a video, doing the Silverado,
take exit 4 for Missouri 43 South towards Seneca.
Doing the Silverado Trail Boss, and that's when they're criticizing it didn't have state of charge. Yes, it did. You just had to go through the screens. They said that it kept crossing the lanes. I highly doubt it. This one's not. I mean, what it did once on a corner when it had to do a turn, but anyways.
Take exit 4.
But the guys that they have reviewing the GM vehicles, they're all like either Tesla or Ford fanatics, and they're very biased.
Use the right lane to turn left on Missouri 43 South, State Highway 43 South. Very
biased. Anyways, all right, well, I better drive here, so. All right, this time I'm gonna leave it at 100%. I'm gonna leave the air on. Maybe it's a cooling issue too, that maybe it's not cooling the battery. But I'm not sure why else it would stop short of 100%. I mean, not like we want to, but we're gone for a while and eating at that Chinese place. So it was, anyways. All right, at 64%, it went up to 119, then now it's stabilizing at 110 kilowatts roughly of charge. So, which I mean isn't too bad for the higher state of charge like that. So, it's a travel plaza here. So you come in, so it's kind of nice, and a lot of places to shop. So a good place to stop and get your EV charged at Joplin. Great establishment here. These restrooms. Definitely be stopping there. And look at this place. It's kind of neat. They got a toys for everyone. Old car. This thing. That's kind of cool, huh? Old Model T pickup. The old hand crank. Get your hair cut. Laundry done. More stuff to buy. Looks like you can just customize your trucks. Look at this place. Put on a nice big semi truck for you too. Yeah, it's kind of a neat plaza to stop. All right, I think we figured out why the car wasn't charging to 100%. It was charging to like 90%. It did that at the last Tesla station. It did it again at this Tesla station. Went to 90%, and then after a bit it started recharging again, but not using the Tesla account. It started going to the plug and charge on GM's account. So there may be a congestion limiter on the Tesla app. I'm not sure. That's the only thing that would make sense on why it would just stop at 90%, but it is capable of charging up to 100%. And then we're going to continue on to Joplin. Well, we're at Joplin right now. We're going to continue on to Tulsa, stop at a car wash down there, and then our final destination, living, hopefully not final destination like movies. And we'll have hopefully 57 or more % of the battery, probably 65 I'm guessing. So that'll give us some juice to run around and hopefully drive all the way back to Joplin and charge up here when we start taking the trip back. So anyways, we'll probably just turn this off here, I think, or we'll just let it finish charging. It's just got 5 minutes, and then we'll head out. So we're gonna stop charge, and let's stop the charge there. That out. Pick this back up. Go. Garbage. Garbage. Nice Tesla stations. And the place that we went to over there, it's like Route 44 or something that it's called. I don't know, I can't really see a sign for it. So there we go. So, a nice place inside. You get a lot of stuff. So, alright, off to Tulsa. Alright, we just entered Oklahoma. So, traffic going up there. Yeah, Super Cruise is just handling this like a boss. So, no problem. Traffic, and then after this guy goes, Super Cruise will take over again and make the lane change. As soon as I stop recording, Super Cruise takes over again and moves over to the next lane. It's not messing around with these trucks, that's for sure. Just in and out, in and out. So start approaching to the truck here, it just automatically senses. Moves over. Predictable. That's, I guess, a good word you could use for it. It's being predictable. So I know I can start recording here. It just pushed itself up to 76 miles an hour just to try and get around that guy because it's about to make another change here. So as soon as it senses that it can make the change, it does. Doesn't cross the white line out of spec. just like clockwork. So it'll switch over here, and then in a little bit it'll pull over for that guy up there, because he's going pretty slow. I'd say he's probably doing about 65. So, hey Google, what is my name?
Your name is You're a bitch.
Well, that's not very nice. We'll see if I ever wash and wax you again. Sheesh. Alright, we are coming into Tulsa. It looks pretty flat. But anyways. Alright, well, we're gonna hit a car wash, I think, before we go to our final
In half a mile,
destination.
continue on I-44.
So, you see, I'm not such a bad guy. Take you through a car wash, get you all cleaned up. There, car wash all done. Now city traffic. Joy. Alright, almost to our destination on the second leg of this trip. We are.
Your destination is on the left.
Alright, destination on the left. On the left. There's Kenny. We'll back up into the street though. So, total distance.
Okay. Probably take my truck.
Hello.
Were you filming?
Yes.
Do you have consent to film?
I do now. 829 miles. That's on 2.5. All right, we're here. All right, so the whole trip it took 829 miles, and we were able to do that with supercharging. It was 102.88 or $102.88, something like that. So that's not too bad. That's all on the supercharging and stuff. So, but we're down here, Tulsa, Oklahoma, and we are going to, I guess, just go out and hang out, kind of relax right now. But yeah, it was a good trip. So, see you in the next videos.